Case of genocide in Rwanda, Uganda took the lead. And that's how we, working with the RPF, the Rwanda political organization, that's how the genocide was stopped. So there's nothing new in that. Blessing by the whole of Africa, but actual action by some few. That's good enough for me.
Now, your forces in Somalia have been variously accused of shelling civilian areas, particularly the Bakara market, where they have easily killed hundreds, if not thousands. Are you aware of this?
Why would anybody who is not a criminal share an adversary? Because we are belligerents, we are at war now. Started by those Al-Shabaab, they're the ones who attacked us. For us, we went there on an African mission. We don't have a border with Somalia. We don't have any interest in Somalia. The only interest we have is a Pan-African interest. Africa wanted a force and we provided it. We are there on the African mission and these people fire at us. Fire at us, attack us. Now, when they fire, we locate where they are firing from. If it is true that there are civilians in the sites where they share from, so who is the criminal now?
Mr. President, I hope you're not justifying the killing of civilians by your forces in Somalia.
No. I'm not justifying the killing of civilians. But why should a belligerent, if the civilians are there, fire from a populated area? In many of these places, there are no civilians. They have run away.
But the Bakara market, where most of the people of Mogadishu get their foodstuff, has been attacked dozens of times by your forces.
Does somebody fire from there?
They might. They're your enemies.
That one I have to study. If they are firing from a market, a populated area, which our people know to be populated, and then they respond, that one I would object to.
Some say that by taking your forces to Somalia, you are serving errands. You're running errands for outside forces, foreign forces who do not want an Islamist state to be established in Somalia.
When did Islamic extremism become part of the African heritage? I am on an African program. The Somali government broke up many years ago. The state collapsed. Now, people living in a collapsed state for so long is really a form of genocide. If these groups are really patriots, why don't they cooperate with the region, have a transitional period without disruption, go for elections, and then if they're elected, become the rulers, the leaders of Somalia? Why don't they want a peaceful transition? And how is Middle Eastern extremism part of the African heritage? So who is the agent? Are they not the agents of foreign interests? Certainly, me, I have not changed my position.
Now, the priorities for maintaining peace and security in Somalia is said to be upside down. Your forces are taking home up to €1,000 to $1,500 every month, while Somalia's fledgling military officers do not get any salary sometimes. Now, you don't expect to continue shoring up support for the government forever, especially a government that doesn't have legitimacy in the eyes of most Somalis.
If we had the money, we would help to pay them. But we depend on the contributions from different people. So that's good. That's not a good formula. The Somali soldiers should be paid. And I think they are being paid somehow. I don't know how much.
Not regularly at all. I've been to the country, Mr. President. I have worked there and I've traveled widely in Somalia. Your forces are not being viewed kindly by many Somalis because of shoring up support for a government that doesn't have legitimacy in front of most Somalis.
What has got legitimacy? This is Al-Shabaab. What has got legitimacy? Which group has got legitimacy?
But instead of supporting one group which doesn't have legitimacy, why don't you come up with a new venture for Somalia and bring the country to peace? As a Pan-Africanist, as you confessed yourself.
The politics has not been our mandate. Our mandate has been to guard points, really. And if those groups were serious, they would not have involved in a fight with us. Because for us, we didn't go out. Africa said, you guard this airport, we guarded it. You guard the port, we guarded it. You guard this point, we guarded it. Then these people came to attack us.
In the eyes of Somalis, you have taken sides.
No, which sides? The transitional government was not put together by us. It was put together by the whole region. And if they think we have taken sides, why don't they approach us and we discuss it? Why don't they come and discuss with us?
Mr. President, are you thinking of withdrawing your forces from Somalia anytime soon?
No, unless we are asked by the African Union to do so. We can't do it to abandon. There are something like almost 3 million people in the area, this area where we are. And these people are getting medical care, they are what? Now to abandon them is morally unacceptable. No way.
Thank you very much, President Yoweri Museveni of Uganda, for talking to Al Jazeera. And thank you for joining us. Goodbye for now.
Business Latest is brought to you by the Qatar Tourism Authority and Catalan. Business Latest is brought to you by the Qatar Tourism Authority and Catalan.
What's at the front line of global media?
This has been reported worldwide with a major media angle to it.
Comparing news and challenging views. The Listening Post, at this time on Al Jazeera.
An uprising on the streets, showing no sign of relenting. Protesters united in their defiance of the regime. As demonstrations continued for a third week, President Mubarak remained unmoved. But how much longer could he ignore the demands of his people